welcome to the Pretty Sister Podcast. I'm your host, Callie Stoyer, and I am so glad you're here today. This is a place of belonging where we uplift one another as a sisterhood and share the message with you that you are enough, you're beautiful, you're worthy, you're fabulous. And again, I'm so glad you're here. So today I have a special guest with me. I've been slowly trying to introduce you to some of my favorite people on the planet, and this is one of those people.
Hello.
This is Avery Linder. She is my niece. So she is, of course, very dear to my heart, and she is an original pretty little sister. You've heard from some of them. I'm trying to introduce them all because I think it's important for you listeners as you're starting to understand and learn about Pretty Sisters and what it is and what it means, that we kind of catch you up on the history of Pretty Sisters. And Avery's a part of that because she grew up as a pretty little sister.
I was so lucky.
So lucky. And she's grown into such a beautiful young woman now. And so I'm going to ask you, as I have other nieces of mine that have been on the show, what do you remember growing up as a pretty little sister or a pretty sister? I mean, you're big now. You're a big girl now.
Honestly, just the happiness around it. It was really cute. I was pretty young when we were first doing it. And so my early memories are things like we would get tiaras because we were princesses, and we'd get little boas and things like that. But I think overall, it was just that I loved the women around me, even at such a young age. And I think that instilled this like fierce, as we would say today, like girl's girlness inside me today, which I still love.
Yeah, you really are a girl's girl. I love that you said, I remember as little girls tiaras because
that's the best
true.
Part.
That's true. We did do that. But ladies, I do that as a big girl.
There we go. Let's be so honest.
I still wear my tiara sometimes, or at least
as you should.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to remember how divine we are, and so we do that, yes, with little girls, and we even had crowns that were a little bit more little girly.
Oh yeah,
and then we have for the older women some fancier crowns. So I just had to say, at any age, a crown.
You can wear a crown whenever you want.
A crown is okay. To me, the crown is truly a symbol, and it's just a reminder of who I am. And so I have adopted that, and just for years, like if I'm drawn to them, so I'll put them in my jewelry if I'm picking out a charm, or I'll I have necklaces and all kinds of things that I'll choose a crown because I just feel like I should have a crown on.
Anyhow, I agree. You should always have a crown on.
Okay, all right. So you have some of those memories now.
Yeah.
You were taught as a child to be a good friend and what friendship looked like, and she took the pledge. Probably several times
as responsible for
as we would pretty sisterfy you. How did that affect your relationships growing up? Because now I see you as somebody who's always throwing parties and with your girlfriends and having fun, which warms my heart and makes me so proud. I'm not even her mother, but I feel like I just feel a little responsible for this in some way, or at least,
you're her some credit.
Just a tiny bit of credit. Her mother actually is amazing and one of my best friends in life, more like a sister, even though she married my father.
It's kind of awesome. All of my friends think that my mom and Callie are sisters instead of my mom being siblings with my dad.
Yeah.
So my mom fits right in.
Yeah, she fits right in. Oh my goodness. And she did a great job raising you.
Oh.
And I did a great job being your
You did so good.
But you do. You love girlfriends. You have girlfriends. Was that always like, I mean, I the more I talk to girls, there's a lot of girl drama that happens and mean girl stuff. And part of why I do this is I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about how we can navigate that and how we can overcome that and rise above it and be better together. Totally. So did you have some of those experiences?
Well, that is a fantastic question. I think my experience is probably more similar than not. I think people just don't always talk about the hard parts. But when I first was growing up, I wanted the friends. It's not that I didn't want those relationships or want to focus on those girl-girl interactions. I think I just lacked the confidence in myself at times. I think I was going into situations doubting what I brought to the friendships and doubting that people would give me, the time and the energy to foster those good relationships. that lasted for a while until my mom gave me some really good advice, going back to her because she is a queen, a pretty sister. She would always say to go in with the headspace that I love everyone and everyone loves me. And
I love that.
it's brilliant. And it works.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but it's so true. If you go into an interaction and say, you know what, I own this. Everyone loves me and I love everybody here. I have so much to bring to the table and they're going to love it. And I'm going to love what they do for me the same way. So I think that was always really helpful.
That is a very helpful thing because it's hard for teenage girls to be confident and to feel confidence. And I think sometimes it's clouded by a perception of you're worried about yourself and what other people think of you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that a lot of what goes through the head of a teenage girl?
Yeah.
But when you shift the focus to other people, which is what you said, that you're going into it saying, I love them, and you're leading with love and less focused on yourself, and then just going in with this belief that they'll love me too, because I'm loving them, they'll love me too, we're going to have that. And then you're just starting it off on a positive note. That is such good advice, Avery. So what happened when you went into a situation with that love and maybe it wasn't reciprocated in the way you expected? Did that ever happen? And how did you navigate that?
Well, let me be honest. I don't think I have a memory of when I really and truly adopted that mindset, walked into a relationship, and it didn't go positively. Sure, there's people who, maybe our friendships were for the span of a school year, and then we just never saw each other again. Or maybe I only was talking to them in passing at a group activity, at a party, something like that. But I will say that anytime I went in with that mindset, my interaction was great. I felt like I was doing something. We were having a good time. I think people enjoyed my presence. And I think it was more so that I left every interaction happy, whether or not it happened in the interaction.
It sounds like naturally, just to your core, you were doing one of the values that I've been talking a lot about, which is being your best and accepting other people's best. Yeah. And it sounds like you just do that naturally. Like that's a rule that I think if people have learned to do, and it doesn't come naturally to everyone, it really is helpful that all you do is your best and then you accept other people's best. It sounds like in all these interactions, you were accepting people's best. And probably if they weren't being their best, you weren't letting that affect you.
Yeah. I think it goes back to, I understood that we're all pretty sisters.
Yes.
That's what it goes back to. And that really had been instilled from a young age, is that I genuinely like who they are and I like who they can be. I like the potential. And there's no point in not thinking that way, especially when it comes to female friendships, because they're so important. Obviously, there's always times where you may not get along the best with people. You may have different opinions or ways that you live your lifestyle. And I believe that boundaries are healthy, but I don't believe that it takes away from the potential of who they are and how you can still love them.
That is amazing. That's really a gift. So girls can be competitive and social media can be a problem.
Yeah.
And so you haven't grown up in a bubble, as with this happy, you have a happy disposition, which is probably, something that just, I love about you. And these dimples, these adorable dimples that she has, she's had them since she was a baby and we've just always loved them. But, how have you overcome that with this pretty sister mindset, this idea, of comparing yourself to others, or when you see on social media things going on that you're not doing? What's your natural feeling default state? I have some thoughts about that, but I want to see what you say first.
Well, when you said my natural feeling, my default state, I think the first thing that comes to my mind when I see these things is the automatic, oh, I wish that was me, or I wish I was doing that. But I think there's actually a really cool teaching that I learned in philosophy class years ago. It's from Buddha. And I'm going to mess it up, but basically what he's saying is you get shot with an arrow in life. So say I'm shot with this arrow and it hits me and it hurts. And my reaction is, ow, that hurt. That's completely natural. That's completely normal. And that can be like, oh, that looks really fun. I wish that was me. But the difference in this teaching, what he says is when you take the arrow out, do you toss it away or do you take it out and do you just stare at it? And you stare at this thing that hurt you, this thing that made you feel a certain type of way. Do you give it power over you? Or do you just take it out, acknowledge it for what it is, and throw it away? Yeah, I'm not on an island in Hawaii right now, like some of my friends on my Instagram posts. It's just what it is. I'm really happy for them, and I love that they're doing that, but I'm just not there, and that's totally fine. And so if I just take it out and I put it aside, I'm happy for them, but I continue to focus on me and how I'm doing what I'm doing with my life, it just makes it all the better. So that's a good teaching that I should use more often, but that's one of them.
That's a great nugget of wisdom, Avery. I love that you shared that, because you said some critical things there. First, you said that you're happy for them.
Yeah.
I mean, you wish you were, we all
That'd
wish
be great
we were
to be in Hawaii.
I mean, there's always that bit of it, that,
Yeah.
you know, a little pain when you pull that arrow out.
Yeah.
But you don't want to pine over it and destroy your life over it, or, you know, your day.
Yeah.
But you're happy for them too at the same time. And I think that's great, because that's the thing, is we want to be happy for them. And then seeing them in Hawaii, does that instill in you a belief that you could go to Hawaii too?
Oh, totally.
Yes.
Okay, I like where you're taking this.
Yes.
Totally. I can have, and this is also something that I think is, I can have anything I want. You know, obviously there's always limits on that, but when you really think about it, if I wanted to be in Hawaii, sure, I could make it happen. But I want to focus on things here right now. Hawaii would be great, but my focus and my goals are here with me right now. And I'm so empowered that I'm able to take control and handle my goals in front of me right now. So
that's great. And then when, and because you see the possibility of going to Hawaii, you know, you can go there someday.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you,
and I'll reach out to my friend and I'll be like, hey girl, where'd you go? What was the best part? And then you have this network of people helping you have the best time of your life.
So it's almost like you can take these things that you're seeing online as these little treasures and put them on a shelf of like, ooh, I could do that someday. Store that there and as a possibility, instead of being sad you're not doing it, and have all these little mini dreams that are there for the taking, because you've seen what's possible by others and you're happy for them. But then, as you said, you're focused on your particular goals and priorities at the moment. So maybe you're saving up for something, so you're choosing not to spend your money on Hawaii. You know, you get to prioritize those dreams and goals in your own order, and you can do them someday.
Yeah.
Because you believe in yourself, right?
And I think it does also go back, especially with social media. And we say this all the time, but that's people's best right there. When you look on social media and things like that, people have taken time to curate these posts to be the best of their experience. Yeah. And it's totally fine and so fun to do that. If I was going on a trip, I would look at my favorite photos from my favorite days and post them, because that's what I think is just so fun. And so remembering that lens of it, when you go in and you look at these things, where you can be really happy for someone that was them at their best, but people aren't seeing you at your best 24/7. And it doesn't mean that just because right now maybe you're sitting on the couch not doing anything and you're looking at this post of Hawaii, that isn't the comparison. You're taking their best and your best. And while it's not even a comparison, just think about how excited they would be for you if they got to see you at your best that week or something like that.
Oh, I love that. Holding a place for them. That's being very respectful of them. Not, you know, just you're respecting them by just enjoying what they're putting forward and not criticizing it, because I
take it for what it is.
Yes,
it's just fun. It's fun for them.
I hear all too often criticisms of people putting things online and posting things, and whether it's like, oh, they're bragging, or oh, what are they doing, or oh, that's ridiculous, and it grates on me, because I just feel like there's no real, or we shouldn't be criticizing each other. We should be supporting and uplifting one another. And if there's something you don't like, just, it's not for you, move on. You know, you don't need to comment. You don't need to hate on them. You don't need to gossip about them. Just, if it's not for you, move on. And you can just hold a space for them that's more positive.
Social media isn't your religion. It's not your belief system. It's fine. If you don't like it, just get off of it or scroll past.
Yes, very healthy attitude. Okay, so you've had positive friendships and relationships. It seems like it's just come very easy to you.
I don't know if I think going back to that, I think I will say once I adopted the mindset of everyone loves me, I love everyone, I think it came a lot easier. But you know, that was a learned skill for sure. Definitely a learned skill.
You had to put that into practice.
Yeah.
Like any good philosophy or idea, you've got to practice it and get better and better at it. And it maybe isn't easy at first, but the more you do something, the more we exercise, we get better at it. The more we develop a habit, it becomes easier. So I love that you took your mom's advice and put it into practice.
And you'd be surprised, most people that you do things like that with, like most girls that you interact with, guys, like any friends that you have, people want that too. People crave that connection. So if you're willing to put forth that effort and show them, hey, I think you're really cool, you matter a lot, I would love to be friends with you, most people will run with that. They love that.
Yes. Yeah, people are looking for those positive interactions. And so we do good to be the person giving that.
Yeah.
Now, you're married now.
I am.
You are. She's in that happily. You've just finished your year anniversary.
Yeah, which is crazy. That went by so fast, but also I feel like I've known this guy for forever.
Yes,
he's the best.
Yes, so we love him. He's a great addition to the family. How has being married changed, or has it changed the way you approach friendship, or the importance of friendships in your life, or what are you doing to still have friends? Let's talk about it.
Okay,
give me some thoughts.
So,
because I think that there's lots of other young married girls who, where do I give my time? And of course, your spouse is so important, and that relationship is meaningful and it matters. And this podcast is just not about that. It's more about friendships.
Yes.
Let's talk about that part.
Perfect. I'm blessed. My husband loves my friends, for one, so it's super easy for me to be around them. But I think obviously my husband is my best friend and is someone so important to me, but I love who I've been my whole life, and there's people in my life who have known me for a lot longer than the year, just kidding, we've known each other for like 3 years, so than the time that we've been married. And so it's really cool to have these people who know different sides of me, different dynamics come in, and to be that person with them still. I have lots of friends from high school who I really love, lots of friends that I've made in college, and I think the most important thing about those friendships to me is that they bring out sides of me that I want to be in my marriage. Like, I think that's the best part is these healthy friendships that help you become a happier version of you, a more fun part of you, and you bring that into every facet of your life, and it especially can bless your marriage.
Oh, I love that. So that you can be happier when you are with them, because these friendships bring joy and happiness to you. Oh,
it's so fun. It is so fun.
Okay, now I know you have friends. You said before marriage, but you and Gabe are making friends as couples too.
Yeah,
or at least I know you're about to embark. She's moving tomorrow. No, in 2 days. Monday, which is why I'm like, oh, we gotta talk about this before you leave, because I don't want people to miss getting to see her. I caught her. You're going to move somewhere new, and you've actually already moved like 3 new places. You've been married.
We're just all over the place.
They've been all over the place. Yeah. Have you been lonely some places? Because you've had to make new friends. You're in new situations. How do you do that? Because it comes easy for you. It sounds like, but I suspect that even a happy, girlfriend person like you has to work at it, right? Totally. What are you doing to make friends when you go to places?
That's a great question. So I feel there are definitely times when I'm lonely. We have moved a ton and gone to all these new places. I think I just have a real excitement for my friendships and for my potential friendships and future friendships. Like Callie said at the beginning, I love doing things like hosting. If I'm doing something fun, I would love to do it with somebody. And there's some things that, are just more fun with the girls. It just is what it is. So I'm obviously looking forward to those female friendships when I go to these places. And I think the way that I find them is I let them know that I want to be a part of their life. I think people can feel that, like we were talking about earlier. When you meet somebody new and you're so invested and you're asking questions, you want to know what they like, you want to invite them to things, people feel that love and they hold on to it. And I think that's how I've been able to make these friendships so quickly in all these different places and still hold on to them. And they're people that I think are really cool and I really like having in my life. It's like my mom made a joke. I like collect people and then I just have them all over. But I love them and they bring so much light and life into my existence. So it's so good.
Thank goodness we have collectors like you and I, because I kind of think I'm a collector too. I love friends and friendship, and so I do seek it out, but not everybody does have that skill set or that confidence, or maybe they do, but not every season of life or time in life, because we all go through things. And so there might be times when we're more closed off. So I guess a message would be, if or when you can, you want to be that light, because as you're saying that, I'm thinking, gosh, what a light you are everywhere you go. Because you're going into these situations and looking to bring light, looking to make friends, looking to have experiences, looking to serve, looking to love. Like she said, she's going into it like, how can I love you? I love you. Who wouldn't want to feel that?
Yeah.
That's a great energy that you're bringing to the table. So it doesn't surprise me, knowing that that's your mindset, that people want to be your friend.
Thanks, Callie. I think the biggest thing that I would say for people who are like, oh, well, I'm not very good at hosting, or I'm not very good at making friends. Maybe you feel like I did at first, where the lack of confidence in what you bring to the table. I would say to start with things like, if you're doing something fun, reach out to somebody and see if they want to join. It's super easy. You're going to do it anyways. You might as well have company. But I think it shows the people in your life that you're thinking about them and that you think it would be more fun if they were there with you. You don't know how many people are out there wanting friends, wishing that somebody would reach out to them and help them feel the way that you want people to help you feel. And I think inviting somebody is a really easy and simple way to begin with that.
I like that you talked about inviting, because part of the Pretty Sister mindset is to be inclusive, to to help people find a place of belonging. And I know that there's a lot of people hurting and that don't feel that way, and they feel left out from whatever experiences. It could be childhood trauma and experiences that they've carried into, later years. But I've always believed that in the slogan, the more the merrier. And I've taught my girls, and I think your mom has taught you, that when you're having a party, just everyone's invited. Let's err on the side of inclusivity and not leaving people out. And if, too many people come, we'll deal with it.
Yeah.
And I think you have that mindset too. I've watched you do that. I mean, she hosts parties at my house because I'm the closest, relative. Yeah. Her family lives in another state. And so, in fact, you're supposed to have a party in like 2 weeks, but now you're moving. I guess that may not happen, or may happen. I don't know.
Honestly, I'll probably make it work. I'll figure it out. Even downstairs right now, I have like a whole activity plan for whoever's in the house right now, because it's something I wanted to do. And I knew that there would be people here. And so I was like, perfect, you can join me in doing what I want to do.
Yeah. So yeah, she showed up so cute with you're doing haunted houses.
Yeah.
Haunted gingerbread.
Let me say, if you're looking for a fun activity this October, okay, here it is. You're going to do graham cracker houses like you would for Christmas, but you're going to do it Halloween style. So you're making haunted houses. Don't knock it till you try it. This is the most fun tradition I think I've ever done, and we are doing it forever now. I've decided. So
it's creative, so cute. And that's what you do, girls. You come up with fun, creative things to do that people want to join along, that make lasting memories, and just do it. And I like that you said that I want to do this.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure other people will too. And, so you brought it all to my house and just are getting it all set up and inviting anyone who wants to come do this with you to do it, because you're doing what you want to do. You're taking control of your happiness.
Yeah.
That's what I call that.
And I think that's exactly what it is. And I think it's cool because when I look at the friendships that I have in my life, there's a couple in particular who I don't really remember how we got so close, other than they were on my mental list of people who I really did invite to everything.
Yeah.
Like I went from not knowing these people, maybe having like an interaction at a social event in college or something like that, to bridesmaids at my wedding. And I don't know exactly how that happened, other than the common denominator, which is they showed up to a lot of the things I invited them to.
Yeah. Well, and I will say, because she had her wedding at our lake house.
So Callie basically is my mom, because I basically live at every house that she owns.
And it was delightful to see. And she thought she was having a small destination wedding because it is so far away.
Yeah.
And that people wouldn't maybe come.
Yeah.
But people came.
Yeah, people came. We were sleeping on the floors. People came.
She built a house in every floor space and every couch and every bed, and it can already fit a lot of people, but there was a lot of people, and it was such a fun party. But see, that is exactly what happens when you lead with love.
Yeah.
You had this very far away destination that you thought was going to be tiny and small, but everyone came out to support her because they feel this connection with you, which is a beautiful thing, and something that I'm so glad that you know
seriously
at such a young age, because I can say from more wisdom and experience, which is actually age, that these friendships, if you continue this even throughout marriage and continue to collect them everywhere you go, they're going to be such a blessing to your life. I have gained so many beautiful friendships and gifts from them in so many ways. I mean, I'm going to continue to just share all of these friends and lessons. There's too many to say in one podcast, but
yapper, so ask me anything.
But so much
to talk.
Well, and I'm excited for you to continue on this new adventure with Gabe, her husband, and make couple friends.
Yeah.
So I challenge you to do that, because
I'm all for it.
Because some of my best friends also were the friends that we made at your stage of life as newlyweds. In fact, your mom was part of that because she was part of my newlywed group when we lived away from home, and we created what we call our Boston friend group that have continued. I mean, we've gone on Boston family reunions. Yeah. They're not family, but they call it our Boston family reunion, and they're part of that. Yeah. And so it's just an extension of family. I love such that. A gift and blessing in our life.
Yeah. And even from the child of the parents who made those friendships and did that, I do see that. Like, I call these friends my aunt and uncles. Like they showed up at my wedding and everything like that. They're my cousins. And I think what I love about that is that you guys had the confidence to go out to a new place and to make these friends and to make these people your family. And I think we're about to do that when we make this move on Monday. We're not going to live by family or people that we know. So we're going to go out, meet new people, and hopefully turn them into our family and love them just the same. So,
and that's a fun, I mean, it can be daunting and scary to move away from home. And I mean, you've already done it. So
I love it.
Doing it again. But yeah, it's good because you have to, especially in a newly married state, you have to learn to rely on your husband, and then you get to make these friendships together. And there's so many beautiful gifts that come from that. Yeah. So it just gets me excited for you.
I'm so excited. More hosting. I can't wait.
More hosting.
Give me more
friendships to collect and more happiness. Okay, so speaking of happiness, and I always love to circle back to this at the end of the podcast, is to talk about your dreams. And I know you are a dreamer and you've been accomplishing dreams, but what's on the horizon for you? I mean, you're young and launching, and what kind of new dreams are you dreaming up right now?
I love it. So I feel like I was telling you about this the other day, but I think I found this renewed love of myself and my own potential. Maybe that leads into these friendships that I have, but
which is a core belief of Pretty Sisters, is knowing yourself.
It all goes back to that, guys.
And just knowing who you are and your purpose. And it's always a journey to find your purpose. But I love that you're starting with this. Like you're working on this.
And I think with this new sense of love for myself and the things that I can do, and me wanting to give myself every opportunity and every happiness, I've set bigger goals than I think I ever have before. So right now, I think my biggest dream, I'm about to finish my undergrad, and then I want to go to grad school, and I want to focus on this degree that I really love, and it's part of this job that I've been doing. And I didn't think that I would do something like this. Some people don't want to do more school, and I thought that was me. I won't lie. I thought I'm done with school. But I think this is a really cool dream for me to just keep going and see where it can take me and reach my full potential in this way and in this aspect of my life, and hopefully help more people down the road and have more love for more people. I feel like it'll expand my heart as I go, and I can just really make a difference and make a change in this way. So I'm really excited.
I love that. And education is so important and so empowering, that knowledge, and to not only develop yourself, which you'll be doing and learning and growing, but you hit it right on the, right on the head with saying it will enable you to serve more, to give more to others, and show up in a bigger way in life and share your life. And who doesn't want more Avery in their life? I mean, is she not the cutest thing?
Oh, I love you so much.
She's so adorable. I just love you.
I'm so glad that we got to talk about this today. Honestly, it's so fun.
Such a fun thing. I mean, anything girlfriend like is just fun.
Let's talk about it. Let's be girls forever. I love it.
Together we rise. I mean, that's the message. And I just, again, the love that she leads with, let's love more, let's serve each other more, let's be there for each other and lift one another up. Such a great message. So thank you so much, Avery, for joining us today and teaching me. There's things you've shared that I'm going to remember.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I love these interviews because I always learn so much and feel like I get to benefit from these conversations. So I hope you feel that way too. And I hope you'll join us next week. And until then, stay pretty. We'll see you next week.